Later on the No
How
Random
did you only do
podcast.
half of the equation? You didn't think of a name for what you do on X? You tweet on X?
Clip it.
Forever Qualcomm
So
Stadium. Forever Staples Center. Boo, get the out of here.
I gotta be honest, I'm gonna hit you with a double one. The Murph. That's Jack Murphy Stadium,
Oh,
Papas.
there it is.
Okay, we are back. Let's get right into it. What y'all been playing this week? Anton, you want to take us away?
Mm, love it. Man, I'm still in the same mix. I'm waiting for some new stuff to come out. I'm waiting for this new season of Call of Duty. I mean, I think that's really mainly been on my circuit these past few weeks. Just Call of Duty boys just going heavy on the camo grinds. You know, it's kind of the same. I've had too much time lately, so that's kind of been the only thing. But a lot of that. What about you boys?
Chad, what you got?
I've been kind of like all over. I've been on my console. I've been on my PC. I've been playing FIFA. Well, not FIFA, I guess. EA 24. That's been great. I started playing Baldur's Gate, which is like, it's just such a big game and there's so much to do. I kind of don't usually know what to do. So I'm always like on Google while playing the game, like, all right, like what's next? There's a lot of dialogue in that game. And then I've recently jumped back into like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's more RPG based than the original Assassin's Creed. I played the new Assassin's Creed Mirage. Cool to see Baghdad, I guess, in that type of, I guess, like, I don't know, it's cool to see it in the game. But other than that, I didn't really have much attachment to it. I wasn't really I wasn't very like fond of it. Couldn't really like relate to the player. So I went back to my favorite one, and it's the one when you're a Viking and you're just basically going through like, I think like northern continent.
Mm.
So I don't know. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it, and the story on that one's like so much more immersive and actually open world as opposed to being like a linearly open world. But yeah, that's like what I've been playing. It's been all over. But what about you, Kevin? What you been on? You been playing that Portal?
Well, before we get there, I thought it's funny that what EAFC is going the same way as X or whatever. It's like I get the rebrand. You spent a lot of money on it. We know I'm not calling it. I'm not calling it that. I'm not calling it EAFC, and I'm not calling it X. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Twitter
it's
or FIFA till I die, bro. I'm gonna
forever,
be
bro.
50 years
OGs.
old. Like, you got that new FIFA? Like, oh, you're such a boomer or a moomer or whatever they're gonna call us in 25 years or 30 years. I could give a shit. I'm tweeting that shit on Twitter. When niggas say, when they be like, oh, he's tweeting on X, I'm like, how did you only do half
Uh,
of the equation?
uh,
You didn't think of a name for what you do on X? You tweet on X?
Clip it.
Forever Qualcomm
So
Stadium. Forever Staples Center. Boo, get the fuck out of here.
I gotta be honest, I'm gonna hit you with a double one. The Murph. That's Jack Murphy Stadium,
Oh,
Papas.
there it is.
Get him.
Forever Jack
Qualcomm.
Murphy.
This boy's over here on some Snapdragon or whatever the fuck kind you're
Snapdragon.
on. You're all
Forever the
Snapwagon. Fuck out of here, Jack
Forever the
Murphy, baby.
forum. Mm.
Well, the forum is still it's still called the forum. Actually,
I think you're right.
it is the Kia forum now. That's the thing, but the forum's still the forum. SoFi's young Sophie, but yeah, Staples Center for life. I'm not calling it no crypto.com arena. Y'all can shut up with that nonsense, crypto arena. Man, that's the most embarrassing name ever. Wasn't there one? Didn't the stadium in Miami get called something stupid as hell?
Miami
It was
Stadium.
like
That's a Hard Rock Stadium.
FTX. It was FTX. Them niggas that went
Oh,
down all
FTX.
crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah, no,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not the football, the basketball where the Heat played. It was FTX Arena for a little bit, but then
Ooh.
For a
that
little
boy
bit.
Sam Bankman was like, "Oh, we don't actually have any money." All right, we're gonna get to the video games in a minute. Did you guys see that scam, the like life cruise scam thing?
No.
No.
That's your faces say no to me. There was this thing going around for like the last several years, a couple years, maybe two. That was like sell your possessions, ditch your life, come live on this cruise ship for 3 years. It's like it costs X amount of dollars. You get a room, like a nice luxury room, and just come live on the ocean for the next 3 years. Like, forget about that. So people like you can imagine people that had like 1 year to live, you know what I mean? Or had just retired and shit, like didn't have, were ready to go and make that type of jump. People were doing it. They were selling all their possessions and putting this money away, investing into this boat so they could go and live on the. Turns out there was never a boat. It was never
That's
real.
awesome.
And the company, just like in the last 24 hours, was like, oh, yeah, we're sorry. We lied. People have no get back. They sold all their shit. And it's like old people, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of old people and like sick people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cold world
Fire
out
crews.
there.
You
Tell them,
hate that
Zozo,
shit,
it's a
huh?
cold world.
Scumbags.
We don't like those
He said, I'm
people.
not with that
Neither does
shit.
Zoe.
All right,
The
okay,
next
back to the
generation
games.
condemns it.
The next generation is out. Stupid Zoomers, boomers, whatever they call it. I have been playing a little bit of the Portal, trying to tune it up and make it a little bit tighter, play some of those story games. I did go ahead and default to a plugged-in connection. So I think I was saying I just have so little time. I unplugged it from the screen over here, so just the PC over here, and I have it over there plugged into just the mesh system. So it's just plugged in straight, but there's like no screen on it. It's just like a remote playable device, which makes me a little bit sad. Because looking at my PS5 on the ground is like just like a streaming device is not the intended use. So a little bit of the Portal, trying to make it better. I started playing Monster Hunter on there, so shouts to
Oh, very nice.
iMugs. I know he's been asking me to do that for like 5 years. A little bit of Monster Hunter, and then still some of that Zelda, and a little bit of the new Mario. Kind of
Wonder.
fun. Yeah, just being
I
honest,
want
that
to
game
buy
is
that. I was gonna. I thought
kind
you
of
had it. I wanted to ask how you liked it. I want to buy it.
it's kind of fun, and you can play co-op,
Oh, I'll buy
side by
it.
side Mario, but co-op with the wife and stuff. So it's a fun time. It's a good family game. You guys know how I feel about that Switch family time. So that's what I've been on this week, trying to get into BFUS, trying to get back into Apex. That's a lie. I've been in the Apex firing range, like I said, but your boy's still trash. I'm trying to make the complete conversion to playing on PC, and it's just so hard. Like COD going to COD PC didn't take that long, especially since I had a broken hand, which was weird. Switching to Apex PC is hard. Like it's so that's I played so many hours of it. I have the controller stuff just so down, so it's been a trip, but I'm pretty committed to it. So working on that, trying to get into this PC, but like I said, with my PlayStation over there, it's like trying to get more onto the PC. The one big gap, of course, is still talking to the boyos. So I'll work on that, try to get there. But that's what I've been on this week. Any surprises? That doesn't surprise anybody, right? Pretty much the same stuff. I'm like the handheld king these days. I feel like that's it. You
Sorry.
say it, Bubba.
I'm laughing because I saw this one streamer who he got his Portal. I gotta find his name and shout out. It's this black dude who started streaming and he kind of started blowing up. Shout out to him. I'll get his name and have it on the next pod. But he got his Portal and ended up like giving it away because he's like, yeah, this isn't what I thought it was. You. He's like, yeah, so this thing is cool and everything, but I can't take it on vacation, and it's just for like at home on the Wi-Fi. So I'll give it to one of you guys if you want it, one of my followers. And so he ended up just giving it away. And I was like, what?
I'm just like, bro,
damn.
do you read? Like, can you read that? They were so clear about that. I had a little bit. I guess one time to go back to the PlayStation Portal, I was just thinking about it over the week after we talked about it last week, and like, it's a huge W for Sony, like a massive W, and people just don't get it. So it's like, if you already had this remote play system that exists, like they've had that for 5 years, 6 years, 7, 10, I don't know. They've had it for a long time. Nobody does it, or very few people do it, because it's a little bit laggy, and like we say in video games, a little bit laggy is enough to like fuck it. Those ads are killing me. What the hell? All right, so back to that. So they've had this in existence for a number of years, right? Already going on, but nobody was doing it, and they couldn't figure out how to get people to do it. So imagine you go to the CEO or whoever makes the decisions, and you're like, check it out. The reason nobody are playing it is because it doesn't look right, like it doesn't look cool. So what if we just created a hardware device that's built to only do that? It did two things. One, a whole bunch of people bought it because it's new hardware, it looks beautiful, and they're like, oh, I want to try that out. The other thing that's really interesting, and Shad, you made me think of it, I saw it on your Instagram story, made me think about this. is it also got all the people that like kind of do remote play or have it on their iPads or whatever to fire that shit back up and try it out again. So they've had this kind of dormant, right? They've had this dormant product, if you will, that nobody fucks with. And so all they did was they got a jump start out of it by creating this hardware, which is already within their know-how. Like that's already their space. They do that, right? And they got this new holiday product without having to create a new PlayStation. It's not the PS6 or anything like that. And people bought it. I mean, we understand what it is, but it hit on both sides. It got people to start using remote play, which nobody was using remote play. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's not a competitor to the Switch. It's not a PSP. It was a way to get people to use the remote play service that they already have more. And that they accomplished without question. I mean, even they have us talking about it more, right? So I think without question, it's a W for them.
Yeah, that aspect for sure. In that aspect, without a doubt. I think what's going to make it a 10 out of 10 is once they come up with that software update that has the web browser, that now you can port it, but kind of be a little bit more portable. Once they do that, I don't think there's going to be an excuse for people to say that it's not like a good device. I think right now it's like 9 out of 10 because it looks amazing. The screen is like the perfect size. Like I love me a big screen. Like remember those like old school Nat Geo handhelds that we used to have? I like those because they used to be so big. I'm like, this is the big ass screen. We had it when we were like kids. So it's like there's not really much of a loss when you come to using like a Sony hardware product, regardless of what the hardware is. Like whether it's Sony or like a gaming like device that they own, they're just really good with their hardware. Like I'm like not surprised at all with how good it looks. Like I told you like last week, I think I'd pay more than like $200 probably for that thing. You know what I mean? If they have it all like tweaked out a little bit, it just looks good. It looks better than a Switch. It looks kind of better than a Steam Deck, even though it's not really like it's apples and oranges, you know. But I don't know.
I do. I think it
What were we
looks great
talking
and
about?
people want to play with it, but I don't think that it's ever going to get like I'm down with the web browser part, but it's not intended. I keep getting back to this. It is not intended to be a portable. Like that's not what it is. It's not for vacation. It's not for at work. It's for at home on the same network as your play. It's so that you can go sit on the couch, or if I don't want to be in my office, right? That's the hard part for me to play with you guys. All my real gaming gear is in my office. I'm also in here for like 14, 16 hours a day. When I'm done, I need to at least be in the same room as my family, or my wife's going to leave me. Like I can't just be up here like, all right, cool. So you guys got the family? I'm going to play games with the boys. I'm just going to stay in my office for 20 hours a day or whatever. Like I can't do it. So I think it's for people like me in that scenario. And if you want to play story games sitting down, but maybe they'll create a true portable version in the future. There is no way to fit all the hardware that's in the PS5 and that same functionality into a hand. Like it's just not going to happen. Not right now, right? In the future, we can see that. But I think if that's your goal, the Steam Deck is your best option. Yeah. And PlayStation is just not building one of those right now. And it's so hard for people to get. And I get it. It's so hard for us to understand, like, this is not a PSP. Like, it just is not. It looks like it, but it's just not. Like, it is wearing a PlayStation's uniform, if you guys remember that old Chappelle joke. But it is not a PlayStation. It's really weird. But to be honest, while I'm, like, a fan of it and I'm a fan of what they did business-wise, I don't know that it's really worth anything. It's almost unusable. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to have the lag, I'm like, where's my Switch?
Yeah.
It's not worth fighting a boss and then it times out for a second. It's just not worth it. So I'm like, you got me, PlayStation. That was nice. If you guys figure it out, cool. I don't know if it's my network or if it's their shit, but it just like it I wasn't using the PlayStation Remote Play before for this exact same reason. Right. It's a cool idea, but the minute I get one or two lags, I'm like, fuck it.
Dude, I was talking to Anton before the podcast started. And I was like, dude, I've been playing the PS like remote app on my iPad Pro for like months, almost a year. And like like you said, I just fired it up last night. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try playing FIFA. And I was like, oh wow, this one's great. And I was like, all right, let me try Call of Duty. I was like, oh, this one's great. And you're absolutely right, dude. Like that remote app, even on the Backbone, I fired up my Backbone last night. It even has it on the phone now. You can play a PlayStation 5 game. You could play Xbox Game Pass games, and you can connect your Steam to your phone now and play through Backbone. Did you guys know that?
Oh, yeah, I've had Backbone for like 3 or 4 years, but same thing for me. It's the same thing. It's just I can't do, and maybe you have a nicer like Wi-Fi like mesh system going on, or maybe it's quicker. Also, if you think about how much does an iPad cost, how much does an
Hmm.
iPhone cost,
Yeah, right, right,
how
right.
much did your PS Portal, or your PSP, see, your PS Portal cost? It's like it's got to be a $1,200 device for it to work at those types of
Hmm.
speeds, which I'm
Hmm.
fine with. If they put out a PlayStation Portal that costs 2 grand, I said this last time, like $200
Hmm.
isn't enough. It's just a trinket. If it was 2 grand, if it cost the same amount as a PC, then it might work. I know that sounds super bougie. I would pay like I'll pay that. You know what I mean? I'll get it. I'll pay that. It's not accessible for everybody, and I get it, but like that's how much your iPhone costs because it's got $2,000 worth of tech inside it. It's they don't just make those prices up. It's not the glass and the
Right.
the metal around it. There's high level technology inside these Apple devices. I mean, they're really serious. We talked about the lidar scanners and the sensors they have in there. They got how many megapixel cameras? Two of them, four of them actually. Now
Fucking
iPhones have
right.
4 different cameras. They're sleek and
Jesus.
smooth, but there's a lot of tech going on in there. So you get what you pay for when you pay $200. And I don't know how much do these things cost. How much do these cost?
$60, $70 now, right?
All right, so go ahead and cut that out. So
Yeah,
you're
like
paying
60 bucks.
140.
Yeah.
So imagine you're paying 140 for the thing to get all of it. That's not just the controller. Then say the screen costs, another 40 or $50. You get like a $90 device. So you get what you pay for. It's fine. It mostly looks cool. It's probably really cool to be in the airport, like hanging out with it. You look badass,
Yeah.
which sounds silly, but people will really get people really get stuff like that. We get the headphones because they look cool, but it's
Hmm.
just I just don't have much
Hype
faith
beast.
in it. It's a
Have you
little
guys seen the
hypey.
new? Have you guys seen the new OLED? Jesus Christ, Steam decks that they kind of released a month back? I'm thinking about getting one
What?
just so I can kind of like, I guess like review it for the pod. But dude, it looks insane. I mean, you just connect it to your Steam, and I mean,
I'm a
There's an
fan of
OLED
anything
Steam Deck?
OLED ever since I got the TV.
it is gnarly. Let me see. And you connect it like it's about that big. It's got like touch pads. And here's what the specs for it. Not bad. But the price point,
Scroll
that's I
up a
think
little
what
bit.
scares people away. Go ahead. Let me know
Oh no,
right
I
here.
just couldn't see the price.
Oh, there you go. The price point is really like the only thing. Like to me, if this was like maybe $500, that would be such a great investment. But even at like 700, maybe almost $800, including tax and shipping, would you guys say this is something that's worth it? Like to get if you
Well,
want to be
yeah,
on the go, you know what I mean? It's got about
it,
3 to 15 hours worth of battery life.
this is exactly what I think that Portal should have been. They should have had tiers of it. Like the lower tier one should have just been like the LCD one right there, where it's like no Wi-Fi capability or anything, or like no like on the go capability or anything like that, and it's like a lower resolution. And then if you move up, then you get like better online capabilities, maybe a better screen, better optimizer. You know what I mean? Kind of like you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like
Right.
the difference in like iPhones between like a regular one and a Pro, MacBook Pro, like like, but maybe make it like 2 to 3 tiers, and then the top one being like uh built-in fucking Wi-Fi, 120 hertz, or whatever the fuck is comparable. It can go play on the move. It's like seamless, like a seamless, like on the go gaming product. Then yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Like anybody with a play, I would rather pay twice as much for that than I would for a regular PS5 if I knew that it would be a PlayStation on the go and I had all my games and all of that. Like
Damn.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, or leave a comment, let us know what you think. But but like seriously, like
It's so interesting. If you go back to the comparisons there, Shad, I was gonna hop in and just be like, this is interesting. I think this is getting real businessy. I think there's a gap here. Who's paying 549 for this? That's not also gonna pay 679. Does that? I'm like, if it's like to me, it's the same price point. Like, I guess it's another $130, but at that point, I'm like, well, okay, what are the? It costs so much money to make different products. I'm like, just make two, make the 399 one and like the 650 one. I'm trying to look at all the comparisons. I'm like, who's buying the 512 gig? Who's buying that?
Right.
Over $100? If you're putting together 550, you're putting together 650. Like,
Right.
It just seems weird to put like that's
Yeah, at
not
that
like an
point.
entry, right? That's not the entry level. I'm not like, oh, this is more accessible. That one's me. Just give me the 399 version and the 649 version
Yeah.
and call it a day. And because then if you're the 399 version, you're like the iPhone SE. It's like I don't know, but I have one. You just don't have a Droid. Sure, this is the real thing. The 649. I don't know what the hell the 679 version is. What is the difference here?
Honestly, I don't see a difference. If you, I guess it's limited edition. I don't even know what that means.
It's
An
only a
edition
$30
carrying
You
difference,
case.
so it's
There it is.
probably
carrying
like
case.
like
That's what it
aesthetics.
is. So like
It's a
Yeah.
limited edition
bucks
carrying
more.
case. Well, I guess for the audio listeners, right? There's 4 tiers. There's the LCD 256 gig at 399. Then there's a 549 version that's got a 512 gig OLED screen. Then there's a 650 version, 649 with a 1 terabyte OLED screen. And then there's a 679 version, which is 1 terabyte OLED with a special carrying case. And I'm like, that's not 4 versions. That's 2 fucking things. Give me the bullshit one, the iPhone SE, and then give me the iPhone whatever, the
Yeah.
iPhone Pro, whatever the fuck. Get the rest of this out of here. I had no idea they put out an OLED version. And like I was saying before with the Switch, I sat on that for like 2 years, not knowing how different it was. It's significantly different. It's like it
Right.
is a significantly different device. It's way better, and the screen is way bigger. It wasn't like a little bit like when I'm like buying TVs and they're like, you get the LCD or the OLED or the 4K gajillion hertz. I'm like, can I see? Is it sports? Like, give me the TV. I don't give me the TV. This shit is different. It's a different device, and so I'm
Right.
like, if there's an OLED Steam Deck, we have a gaming podcast. We spend money on this bullshit. Why didn't they do better marketing? I didn't know this shit
Right.
existed. Fuck that
Right.
portal.
So
I would have bought this.
correct me if I'm wrong, but would this work for like Xbox games, or is it only Steam?
Let me get back to you. I don't fully know. I don't want to give you like the wrong information, obviously, but
I'm just because I know it's a Steam and not to be, you know what I mean. But I'm
yeah,
wondering if just because I know that some of those integrate, or I mean, if it has Wi-Fi, I wonder if it'll have like online or some sort of like a way to plug into your. And plus, it's sitting right next to an Xbox right there, so I don't know why.
With the
Like,
that's what I'm
Xbox
so I'm
saying.
kind
app,
I
of
think
thinking,
you can
man,
access and
like,
play all games available on Game Pass.
oh, see, okay, that's fucking
though my
tough then.
and you know how I always have a gripe with like something on a handheld device. My only thing with this, and I know it probably put the price point up, is if you're gonna ask me to spend like almost 700-800 bucks on this, willing to spend it. But can you put like a 5G signal, I guess, thing in there as well, so like I can get 5G as well? Because there are devices. I think Razer makes a device. I think Logitech makes a device. There are streaming devices, so it's not like necessarily like this, but like 5G on here would be pretty badass too, having to distinguish between the Wi-Fi or the 5G. It'll truly then be like a portable device. Then you wouldn't need to just be held by Wi-Fi bounds. But I don't know like what that entails. I don't know how much bigger of a device you're gonna have, how much more price point it'll add on to that. I just think that would be the only final thing to make this the ultimate handheld device. Just add
Yeah,
a 5G thing in there.
you should read the book or listen to the audiobook called The Metaverse by Matthew Ball. He's like the
Okay.
leading speaker, and he's not like an NFTs dork. He's a tech person. He's been ahead of this for a long time. Because
Mhm.
like what you're saying, it makes sense, and like that's ideally again, that's like what we have here. Not the same thing. Like these things we're talking. That's why I'm so hard about the PS Portal not ever getting to where people wanted to get. Is like
Uh-huh.
those are truly different technology. Like it's so much more difficult to do some of those things. So that I mean, you're totally right. That would be the dream is like a standalone portable device with 5G and all that. It's just like with the watch where you'd have to pay monthly for the service. You know, like
Right.
this should be a Verizon device before it would be like a Steam or a Razer thing. Because
That's a good
once you
point.
tried to add 5G, it's like a whole different satellite system. Like it is a whole different thing when you go away from Wi-Fi. So
I've been
there's
laughing.
just there's a what's that?
I'm sorry. I've been laughing thinking of like, do you remember those old commercials like the Bieber 6G fever? Remember that? Like, that's what I keep thinking of. Like, maybe when we get to 6G or something like that, when they boost it out, and that's when we're gonna start getting that kind of tech.
It's Yeah, it's like it's not even about like yeah. I mean, it could be the sixth generation and stuff. It's such a different like these different protocols. So either way, check out that book. It talks to you and explains how the protocols work, but also payment rails are totally different. So
Mm.
like where some of this stuff starts to fall apart is who's getting their bread, who's getting paid off of this, and how.
Yeah, that's a
Right?
good
That's the
point.
same thing. Like you know how if they took Fortnite off the iPhone, they used to have Fortnite on the iPhone, but then you got to pay Apple to speak their language to even be in their app store to be able to mess with their devices. They build this tech and they walled it off. And so it starts to make it doesn't even make sense. You hear the GTA 6 developers talking about we should charge for this game by the hour. They're serious because they have to pay. Like they have to pay money to get this shit on. When they have GTA in the Apple store, they have to run Apple that bread to get that. So it's pretty complicated, but check out that book. It really goes into detail explaining, and it explains too how some of these guys like Epic are defining what this tech is and where it will be. Like the video game space is truly on the bleeding edge of this technology. So you know maybe they'll be able to get it at some point in time, but right now it's too much of a business quandary. Like that's why they're making these bullshit streaming devices because that they can do. The Steam
Hmm.
Deck is an incredible accomplishment. Just to be able to get that done is really difficult.
So dope, dude. I can't imagine when handheld gaming gets to that point.
Bruh, I'm ready.
Sorry.
Give me back cartridges.
Anytime
I'm trying to go. I'm
like
trying to go
imagine like
straight
you know what I
game
mean, the little
gear.
handheld combo, you're getting your ass whooped, or like MLG conferences with like a bunch of handheld people just up on stage playing each other.
You know where it's got to go is it's got to go with a controller or even without it, where you can just use your hand, right? Like the haptic gestures, and then just put it into my
Dude.
contacts, or better yet, go full Black Mirror and implant that shit so I can just see it. You see what I'm saying? That type of
Yeah.
stuff is like again that they're also working on these things, but then you just niggas just be sitting in class like this.
Dude, with the new Apple Watches, you can like control your Apple Watch with like your index finger and like specific gestures and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, like
I have
shit.
my friends in Anton. You remember that girl Michelle and Antoine and them from UCLA or UCSD? Just the really smart
Yeah.
kids we used to kick it with for a little bit. They were showing me shit like this. I mean, 12 years ago.
Damn.
Like it exists, but again, getting creating the tech is one thing. Solving the business problem is a whole different conversation. Like before people will let it work, and there's only so many giants that provide. When you say like 5G or like getting them satellites up there, you know what I mean? That's why you see Elon sending out Starlink and shit to the places that I'm not going to say because they're going to bury our pod. But you know what I mean? Like that's just how that goes. So we'll see. Either way, that's a nice big introductory rant on
Instant
portable
demonetization.
gaming. Instant demonetization. I'm staying away from that. I did think though what might could be a little bit fun, and this is a little bit of a surprise, but you guys down to maybe look through these Black Friday deals? You guys do any Black Friday shopping?
Oh yeah, I bought an air fryer for my mom, and my sister.
Hey, I bought a bunch
It's
of. I
funny,
thought I
dude.
was gonna buy nothing, and I bought a ton of bullshit. Air fryers are life, and you know what I mean. For about 6 months, it's like air fryer, and then they fall off a little bit. But that 6 months is hot.
It literally just fucking happened. Mine just died, and our house took like a whole like wave on how we cook things now. We're having to like we feel like we're back in the caveman era and shit.
The
But
Renaissance.
you know what's funny, Kev? I actually had a little rant about the Black Friday deals. I think it was like 2 episodes ago. Because I was telling Chad, I was like, you know how interesting, dude. Like some of the titles that are on this list. So I'm happy you said this. So like it was like what FIFA was half off, 2K
I
was
haven't.
half off, Madden was half off, like Call of Duty. You know what I mean? It was like all the major titles were legitimately like half off, like 60 to 40% off. And I was like, dude, can you imagine how much money these people would either, well, I don't know if they necessarily maybe lose it or how much less revenue they'd make, but how much more of like a stick it would be if like we were actually waiting until like these times until the game came out. I was like, these games only came out 2 months ago. And they're already half like you know what I mean? Like these half price deals. Like,
Well,
god
I'm gonna
damn
back
it.
it up real
Like why
quick
am I
just a little
so
bit. Let me back it up just a little bit because just to open it up, we're looking at The Verge and they have a guide to Black Friday 2023. So it says the best gaming deals for Black Friday 2023. And just to clue in, I think what Anton was talking about there, right? It says one of the best deals on games is at QVC of all places. $20 off your first order of $40 or more when you use this promo code. That's insane. So that's on top of markdowns. You can use their promo code Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Super Mario RPG, Sonic Superstars, Marvel Spider-Man, Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4, Street Fighter 6, Dead Space, the new one, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. All these giant titles, like Anton was saying, that are new, 57% off, 50% off, 42%. That's a weird number. 42% off, 50% off. Serious markdowns, right? 50% off for Final Fantasy 16. Serious markdowns. So I go on right back to that, Anton.
I'm just thinking of like, you know what I mean? Like that's just so interesting. Like half off already. Like, God damn it! I don't know. I'm just thinking of the main I think why I even thought of this was because of Madden, because everybody's been playing Madden. I think just because the football season started and like doing like these little leagues and stuff like that. And I was like, well, damn, I'd be down to play Madden with you guys, but I'm not paying $60-$70 for this fucking game. And then I saw the Black Friday sales; it was $30-$35, and I was like, well, I'll buy it for that. And I was like,
Damn,
like
Starfield's marked down. Massive.
yeah, like damn, dude. Imagine if we all just waited until then, and all these games again, and I got to like the idea of like how much less money they'd make and how much of a stick it would really be if like everyone just made like a calculated hold until to just wait until the new year to buy the game.
It is interesting. It's been like 8 weeks since some of these games came out. I'm definitely gonna cop Madden. See, I got the trick. I just don't play enough of any one game. So I still did my little, what is it, 90? You get like 20 hours of preview time or whatever. So
Oh,
I've got
sick.
my Madden career going, but I'm still in the preview, my boy. I'm gonna go ahead and cop that now. They never got me.
It's mad
In
funny.
and out. In and out. Same thing with the
Damn it,
FIFA.
man.
Actually, I bought FIFA. But I bought FIFA on the PlayStation. Now I'll cop it for the discount on the PC, which is solid. Also, shouts to PC finally bringing Madden on, like the current one. Long overdue.
Give me.
My Madden
I'll be
streamers
right
out.
back. Keep it going. I'll be right back. I'll jump back
You're
in.
good.
Sorry.
Best deals on game consoles. The PS5 Spider-Man 2 edition is down 12%. I don't give a shit about 12%. Fuck out of here. That's not a discount. The Nintendo Switch Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle, 18% off. That's $60. I'll take that. The Nintendo Switch OLED marked down to
Ooh,
$290 from $350.
that shit looks good.
It's so good, bro. What else do
The
we
white
got?
aesthetic, I don't like. I like the white aesthetic for video games. Oh,
Are we
I
back
want to
up
get one
here?
of
This one?
those. Just in general, like I
Oh,
like
this
that
one.
Sony does that with their gaming. All not even just Sony, but like Nintendo too, I guess. The white and black, oh, just
I
clean,
like
bro.
it, bro. I got the Splatoon edition, so I have like some different controller things, but it's kind of
Oh,
cool.
sick.
Xbox Series S, all the Xboxes are marked down.
Damn. What is
Anybody
oh
play
what is
this ROG Ally Steam Deck
no, but I've
rival?
seen that before. Yeah.
That's marked down significantly. 30% is a lot.
I'm gonna look into that. The 450, I wonder what
Huh.
it comes with. 120 hertz, that's more than the OLED. OLED.
Windows-based PC gaming handheld with a 7-inch 1080p 120 hertz touchscreen and integrated
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
gamepad controls.
Wow. Actually, that looks pretty
Hmm.
clean.
No one's buying a MetaQuest 2. Come on now. Controllers are marked down. Who cares? Who cares? The fuck is this?
Oh, what
Hmm.
the fuck? That looks cool.
Oh, this is still the GOAT Switch controller. I stand by it.
Oh
I
yeah.
bought all of them.
Yeah, same.
This is still the
I
GOAT.
have the red one.
Yeah, me too. It was like a weird collab with some other game. I forget. This is the GOAT Switch controller. There's no question about it.
It feels good too.
Um,
The other Switch controllers don't feel good. The
I got that
backbone,
cool one. I have both of them. I have the backbone and the key sheet. This one kind of sucks.
the Kishi.
Um, yeah, it kind of sucks. It's for Androids. I was gonna say about the Switch controllers. I have that one that looks like GameCube controller. You
Oh,
seen that?
sick. Yeah. You've shown us before, I think on the pod.
It kind of sucks.
Damn.
Surprisingly. Yeah, I'm
Sad.
sad. It's like I keep
I'm
going
sad.
back to the again that Hori gamepad, HORI. So those are the bomb. So you got some
Oh, very
mouses
nice.
marked down, micro SD cards marked down. That might be the steal. This might be the place to be.
40% off for the $15. Damn, that's lit.
Right, $15 for your 256 gig micro SD card. Okay, they got some deals, I guess. But I still would say by far and away the biggest value tabletop games. All right, we're out of here. The biggest value is going to be in the games, right? Some of those serious 50, 60% markdowns. Um, and then did you hear about, oh, I don't have it open right now. Battlefield 5, the markdown? Guess how
No.
much?
A
Guess how
dollar.
much? No,
Is it a
like how much
dollar?
percentage?
Oh, I'm gonna wildly guess and say 100%. No, 95%. Like it
You
has
were
to be worth
really
nothing.
92%.
No
I've never heard of
way.
something like that. They're like, please play this, we'll pay you.
What are the concurrent players?
So it
Battlefield
just apparently
5.
it just had a huge jump. I saw the piece on Hitmarker. They had a huge jump in players by 200%, which again could be not that many, but apparently that's because they marked it down by a jillion percent. He'll throw it up on the screen. I've never heard of anything being marked down that far.
Like that?
It's like
Holy
just give it
crap.
away.
Yeah, it's free.
Which one was it? Sorry.
Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 is like
Is it? Oh, is it?
like
Oh wow.
like nothing.
Yeah,
I
it
think it
increased
was
by
such a letdown.
200%.
But yeah,
As
that's what
reported
I'm
by
reading
PC
too.
Games, Battlefield 5 has increased from a peak of just over 10,000 players earlier this week to a high of 77,000 on Thanksgiving. A 215% overall increase. To no one's surprise, it appears that the game's massive 92% discount as part of Steam's autumn sale is what drove it there. Low price of $3.99 is how much you can go ahead and cop that new Battlefield. And more to that, Battlefield 2042 received an 84% discount, lowering its price to $9.59. They're like, please, anybody play our shit? Please?
That and that's what I'm saying. That's why I be getting upset. Like when they be complaining, or I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too narrow, and I gotta step it back. But I'm thinking of like the argument about the developers and paying people and all this other stuff, and like it's always about money, but yet how much they sell it for and how much money they made, and it's just like, but then y'all turn around within a quarter and sell it for half the price. So it's like, how much money? Like I don't know. I guess I'm thinking like, where's all this money going? That developers are still complaining or they're understaffed, but yet y'all making crazy 7, 8, digit numbers, sales, record breaking sales and all this other stuff. And it's like, I don't, something's not adding up, Chico.
I gotta be honest, bro. This is what people don't understand. I think about about games and developing games is like that shit is so hard. It's so expensive, and then again, when people don't play them for a long time, it's fucking rough. Look at these ads. God damn, what's up with my ad block? Can you see my screen?
Mink, 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 mink.
This is like right on on the old internet. I don't know what the fuck this site is. Metro.co.uk is trash. Get my ad blocker out. I must have turned that bitch off. Can you even see
That's
my screen?
hilarious. No, oh yeah,
Can you
the
see
GTA
my
6
screen?
publishers.
I can see that.
Okay, cool. It's not showing on my
Yes.
server side here. My computer is toast right now. I'm doing way too much, bros. But either way, so that just reminded us. We mentioned it earlier, but reminds me to that new rumor, right? That GTA 6, the publisher, Rockstar, as I believe, suggests games should be paid for per hour played. Which I bet them niggas are saying that because the game's been available for whatever 25 years. The CEO of Rockstar owner Take-Two has talked about changing the way video games are paid for. Grand Theft Auto 6's first trailer is fast approaching. The game's price is also of interest, although it'll almost certainly cost $70 like normal, which is what AAA games cost. During a recent investment call, again, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said that big budget video games should be more expensive the longer they are. In terms of our pricing for any entertainment property, basically the value of the expected entertainment usage, which is to say the per hour value times the number of expected hours, plus the terminal value that's perceived by the customer in ownership. If the title is owned rather than rented or subscribed to, he said, in the most confusing way possible. To simplify, Zelnick is talking about the overall value video games offer and that the price of a game should be based on how many hours they can expect fans to play the game. I can tell you that makes sense. I can also tell you there's no fucking way anybody's going to do that shit.
Yo, man,
No.
let me go ahead and load up 10 months on my Activision card, please.
If I could just
No, I'm
top up some more
protesting in the
Fortnite
streets.
credits.
Right.
If I could
I'm
just get
protesting.
some
Fuck that.
Fortnite credits, start paying for unlimited access. I got the $30 a month GTA 6 subscription, so I could go into the metaverse. We are hurtling toward a dystopian future where you gotta have, you know what I mean, all those shows we watched on Netflix and shit. Like, well, if I could have more credits, then I could go into the virtual club. I could go into the virtual university. I'm trying to jack in. I gotta plug in, but I'm out of credits.
These niggas think
I'm
they
telling you,
cricket,
bros,
bro.
watch out. It's coming fast.
Yo,
This shit is really happening.
what is the gaming equivalent they could offer us besides free text and like unlimited text or like free calls after like 8 o'clock on like free on weekends? Like what would be like the sweet thing that like gaming could give us that would be like the equivalent to something like that? If we were,
I mean,
if you were to subscribe to like a per hour thing, like what would have to be like a tradable offset to that, or like a monthly thing?
It gets included in your like working state, like business statement, or like when your paycheck. You know, they take away for like Medicare and stuff. In order for you to like have this technology and be able to use it, they got to give you like they got to tax you on it. So everybody just gets hella tax whether you use these electronics or not, and you're just living in this future where you just put the shit on and you just go in, and that's how you do it, dude. You just get taxed like.
here come here come the ads, right? That's how. I mean, remember,
Uh-huh.
like we talk about this all the time. Remember YouTube? It was like, bruh,
Mhm.
no one's gonna do like we're not paying for you. Now I still can't believe people don't pay for YouTube. I've gone on that rant a couple of times. That's the best $10 I spend every month. I'll spend. Don't let YouTube hit us. I'd spend $50 a month for that shit to not have to watch all them crazy ads and have downloads and all this other. YouTube has every
Damn,
fucking
that's
thing.
true.
If you have
Yeah.
kids, you know what I mean? It's like you could pay for PBS and Netflix and Hulu, which we still, but you can pay for all of them. All of that shit is on YouTube. Plus, the whole world of creator shit. You can just download it and keep it on. That is the best $10 ever. That shit used to be all free, and we were like, we're not going to pay for that shit. Well, welcome to the ads, right? And they're getting better and better and better at providing ads. It's easier for regular people to create ads. We can put an ad on Hulu right now. You know what I mean?
That
So
is
as
legit,
more,
dude. You are spot on, bro. Because shout out to Kai Sanat. I love it. I always see clips of his streams, but every single time I go on his fucking stream, I can barely be on there for more than 3 minutes before I get hit with like 5 minutes of ads. And I try closing it, refreshing it, and that shit keeps popping up. And I'm like, bro, I don't go on Twitch enough to watch this nigga like this. I'm not gonna give you $5 or whatever it is a month just to come on here like 5 minutes a month. Like, I support you, but not that much. You know what I mean? But every single time I try to captivate, like his 30 day, like they had to just have like a jail event, and like celebrities were pulling up like a live event for like a week in a jail. Every single time I tried to pull that thing up, I got smacked with ads. Like I was like, bro, what is going on? Everything I pay for, I don't have ads in, so it was just driving me crazy. And I was like, bro, I love you, but I can't watch the stream, dog. This is killing me. So damn,
I,
that is like
I would bet
that is spot on.
I would bet $10,000 that within the next 5 years, that's what it's going to look like inside GTA 6. It'll be GTA 6 still. We're not getting GTA 7 until I'm 50. In GTA 6, there's going to be two ways to do it, right? You can pay the premium subscription, or you can go in there and everything that's in there is going to be real ads. They're all going to be real ads. And you
Mm-hmm.
either have the pop up world, you get in the car and you got to listen to commercials, right? You can't just do the radio, you have to listen to real commercials. All of that shit is going to be really gamified. That's the only way they're going to make their money back. But they're not wrong. People imagine you paid $70 up front, and then I mean, how long has GTA 5 been out? 5 years.
Yeah. Well, you saying that just makes me think of how they're going to tweak the GTA Plus membership, like subscription, because they already have a GTA Plus subscription where you get like monthly, you get money deposited, you get benefits on
Is it
certain
that?
things, you
Is it
get
that
extra.
social shit that they have that like so you have to make like a social like Rockstar account or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah,
I think they're
yeah,
going away
which
with
adds
that.
to it. Yeah, you need to have a Rockstar account in order to do it, and then from there you log in, and yeah, it's like $5 a month, and then you get access to like special dealerships. You get free bonuses, like double money on certain mission types. You get access to certain cars that other like main players can't access. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So like there aren't in like the regular stores. Like you have access to it, and you can just free ride them whenever you want. So
Did you?
that's interesting. They already have something like that, but I can't imagine how for six, like how you're saying, like like if they do twist it like that, like that'd be crazy because they already have a model like that.
Dude, did you guys see this about, since we're on the topic, Rockstar scrapped social club branding ahead of the GTA 6 deal. Why do you think they did that?
Oh, well, maybe nothing. I don't
Just
know.
quickly, I was just going to say I just did the math right there, and it works out to essentially 2 cents per day. If you played GTA 6 every day
Uh-huh.
since it came out, 2 cents per day,
Mm-hmm.
which nobody played every day, but some people have been playing it for 10 years. So like if you do the math, they're getting fleeced. Right? Like the difference is like
Yeah.
they're what they're providing. If you play some of these other games, you pay $70 and you play them for a couple of hours, right? But these guys are doing. I mean, I don't. Well, what's the per hour price, right? Multiply that by 24. It's crazy. So they're getting screwed, and it's like they get the same amount of money as someone like a Diablo, right? And then Diablo only has to make a game that lasts for you for 40 hours, and they have to make a game that lasts for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. It's like they're not wrong.
No, and honestly, as much as I hate to, I fully agree with that. Especially for a game like Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar, all other games in general. I will give them that. They give their games a long life cycle. Like same with Red Dead. People don't play it, but they're still. I mean, look at Red Dead. Red Dead 2 that's out. So
We
no,
talked about
that's a
that,
good
right?
point, and that's
Like
what
how
we
much
argue with for other studios. Like, why don't you guys? As long as they're listening and they give people what they want, I completely agree with this. I wouldn't mind paying at all, honestly.
think about what you pay for a few hours of entertainment. You know what I mean? I was talking about that long ass DiCaprio movie the other day. I still spent like $30 for a 3 hour. It's like $10 per hour. Imagine playing this game for 20,000 hours, and they're like, "Wait, people pay $10 an hour to get entertained, and we're getting a fraction of a penny, and we're entertaining you for a decade." I would be tight too. I'm not wrong. Uh, I don't know much about the social club thing, Chad. If you want to get back to that, and then I have one more that I think will take us kind of right into this same
Honestly,
conversation.
there's not much to be like. I looked at kind of what they're doing with the social club versus like what they're doing for GTA. So they're getting rid of social club branding wise, but they're still gonna have like Rockstar Games member. So how we have Epic Games, how we have BattleNet, it's essentially gonna be like that rather than being just like, oh, here, log in. Now you can like use this to launch our program. I think it's gonna be a little bit more like user interactive. That's
So I
really
got
it,
to
I
learn
think.
more about it. I don't know much about the social club. So let's dig into that and find out more about. We should spend or probably have even a GTA 6 segment going forward because as it's ramping up to come out, there's a lot to
I
talk
agree.
about because it is the metaverse, right? Just quickly on that
Hmm.
same topic, there I saw this one that Ubisoft added in-game ads to its older Assassin's Creed titles. They said it was an accident,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? It's there. It says here Ubisoft has seemingly stepped up its marketing efforts by including advertisements in older releases, which appear when players open in game menus. The company has now responded, stating that it was the result of a technical error, aka they are testing that shit.
Yup. Yup.
It's already in place. They are testing it, and they were like, "Whoops, this wasn't supposed to go live." Speaking of ads, your boy, look at this. Look at this. Hello,
Damn, bro. That Sherpa
hello, hello,
jacket.
hello, 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 hello. These niggas don't play around. You shop once, right? Again, something is off with my ad blocker today. But quickly, as shared in a video by Reddit user Tridel24, when attempting to open the map in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they were met with a pop-up ad for the publisher's Black Friday sale announcing the latest Assassin's Creed entry, Mirage, is now 20% off. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Having ads basically like that's what I was saying. Not just like in the front of the game or like you're riding your horse and there's like a billboard. You want to press start? Ad. You want to go to the map?
Ad.
Boom. Ad. You want to change your armors? Boom. Here's another ad. They know what's going on and clearly they're like, "Oh, accident. When did you guys create the infrastructure for this?" It already exists. Like it is happening right now. This next generation is all going to be ads and people here saying, "I'm not buying this. Go away." People here says players are understandably upset, writing that the move should be considered unacceptable. I can only go back to YouTube every time. When they talked about this, people were like, "Fuck YouTube. There's no fucking way we're gonna watch YouTube with ads." We're 15 years down the line, and kids don't know YouTube without ads. They like it's part of their life, right? The same way we used to watch commercials and shit like that. It's just it. That's how these things work. See if I can
Did
get
you
an
see the?
image of
Did you
this.
actually? Yeah. If you click the, I think Mike, what is it? The author redditor. Yeah, there it is. It's hilarious. It's like kind of in the middle of it, part of the
It's
video.
the game. That's
Uh, I,
impressive. Look at this. My man's just running,
dude,
running, hits the map button,
Oh, I need to
boom,
hit the map button.
full screen
You
ad.
want to buy this? You want to buy this?
mm-mm.
Oops.
And you
You
have
want to
to
buy
press
this?
a button too. You either have to close it or buy it, but it doesn't just go away. You have to like interact with it.
Hey, good
I
for
got to tell
them.
you, as an advertiser, the type like I've been talking about this with major brands for years. The type of engagement, the type of impressions, and it's not just like an internet. Like these websites don't know who's viewing them. You know so much about the people playing your game. I know how much money you spent. I already have your credit card number. It's already uploaded. I know the hours that you're available in your free time. Like, right? If you look at your PlayStation stat, we know when you're available to play the game. I know your location. I know who your friends are. There's a lot of information they know about us, right? That we really put in there. And every time you share data with a game company, bruh, this type of marketing is you can't touch it, right? I talk about that. Imagine if I had a billboard inside the neighborhood in 2K and I could tell you how many people walked by it every day. You can't do that with a real billboard. You have to guess. I could tell you how many people walked by it, exactly who they are, their first name, their last name, where they live, who they play with, how much money they spend every year, what they spend it on, what brand of shoes they like inside the neighborhood, what type of hairstyles, tattoos, all of that shit. They know so much about us. It's on the way fast. So gear up for the ads because they are here.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hopefully we just make good ads, bro. That's what I'm always talking about is like, cool, if we're gonna make advertisements, make good advertisements. I'm probably the only person on the planet, I mean not the only one, but a rare breed that wishes you could rewind commercials on YouTube. I get so mad when I see a commercial I like. I make commercials. When I see a commercial I like and I'm like, wait, that was amazing, and I can't go back. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a huge miss by their. I mean, I get it because there's a difference between ads that you push to people and ads that are you can engage with. But either way, that's enough on advertising. It's on the way.
So, well, let me close out by saying, with all that being said, we love brands out there. We love doing advertisements. All right, so let us know. Hit us up. As you've heard, we just went on a huge rant. We got a professional advertiser. Yo, we'll show
What do
you
you
what it's about.
want?
Yo, we'll knock out some fucking ads. All right,
I
all
still wear
right.
my
Hit us
Oakleys
up.
all over the place. I be wearing them Oakleys. People are like, where you get them glasses? We was on our
Who's
shit for a
Shody
little
over
bit.
here, bro? Who,
Uh,
who's Shody on the screen, bro? What's her name?
Last thing I wanted
That's
to dip
AI.
over to before we close out. I know Shad's got his AI, getting his AI rocks off right now. Go ahead, bro.
Right.
Craft On, who makes what's that game?
Sims. Who?
No. The
Art.
original battle royale game,
Fortnite.
the
PUBG.
original PUBG. I
Oh.
said Craft On was one of my clients, and I'm like, what's that game they make again? I suck. Craft On makes PUBG, right? And PUBG Mobile goes crazy. They're one of our clients, and we did
Oh
the
yeah.
PUBG tournaments in South America. The PUBG Mobile, those guys are crazy. The full
Yeah.
esports tournaments on, bruh. Oh wow, we're late. I'm in trouble. Whoops. All right. But yeah, so Craft
Whoopsie.
makes PUBG, and I guess they showcased their new Unreal Engine 5 made game called Inzoi, Inzoi. I might be butchering that. It might be Inzoi. I don't know. I've never heard of this before right now, but says it's poised to be a legitimate rival to EA's The Sims, which is long overdue, right? So this is interesting. It looks amazing. Again, if you can't view it right now, if you're listening to this pod, I know you're familiar with Unreal Engine 5. It looks crazy. It looks very, very realistic, as you guys already know. So jumping into this article again from Hitmarker, says that G-Star 2023, South Korea's largest gaming event, Krafton, renowned for developing the hit game PUBG Battlegrounds, showed off a gameplay demonstration of its latest project, Inzoi. The new life simulation game, currently in its early development stages, is already generating buzz as a potential competitor to The Sims. Inzoi promises to offer players godlike control within the game. Uh-oh, that's calling the Shad. I know that. Look at him. Look at him. Godlike control within the game, allowing them to reshape their environment and live out various life stories according to their whims. The demo, which you can check out below, I'm going to hit play right now, gave a glimpse into the game's expansive character creation tool, built-in mode or build mode, and innovative director's mode, which lets players modify the in-game city, adjust weather conditions, and more.
Nice.
Doo-doo-doo. Nah. This is too. I don't even know how to describe this for our audio listeners.
I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but this is the most Asian video game I've ever seen.
I
Or
mean,
Japanese. What would it be? Chinese? Japanese? It kind of
Korean?
fits. I can't really. Korean, maybe?
Korea.
I couldn't really see because it's
Whoa.
pixelated, but it fits one of those.
This
Oh
is
wow.
really interesting looking. My boy had a football jersey on. Go ahead, Mahomes. They got bird scooters. You can go to work. All right. It says here the game's utilization of Epic Games' Unreal Engine 5 is a significant highlight, suggesting that the lifelike graphics seen in the announcement trailer and official screenshots might actually reflect the quality of the final release. This is interesting. Yeah, it looks a little bit Simsy, but cooler and better and more Asian, like Anton said. Korea.
I mean it in a good way. I like it. I fucks with it.
Anton's trying to
trying
get
to
us
have-
canceled.
Nah, bro. I want.
He
Why
said
don't I
Chinese,
ever see
Japanese.
black
Oh,
people
my boy's
with gold
buff.
hair? Okay, yeah, maybe.
Oh, look at I got a cat too. Let's go.
You get a fat cat. You can dress up as the Joker.
Wow,
All right,
you can be the
Warner Brothers
Joker?
about to sue these niggas. They getting sued. This
I
is
thought that was a
this
pretty
is
cool little looking skin.
Oh, that's
See,
I like
that's-
I like that. See, that's
they're
tight.
they're becoming credible applications too. Like when you want to design your house, right, and not just like the
Oh,
build of
yeah.
your house. You're like, what? Like, imagine you could upload all the items from West Elm or whatever, and then place them in your room for real, right? You get a
That's
Matterport camera,
sick.
scan that shit, and then start to design your room. That's the aesthetics of it in Unreal Engine 5. It's just we just
Why
need
not?
like another 5 or 10
That's
years for these things to
genius.
become. These are people are trying to do it. It's just clunky right now. But it's
Kevin, that's
another
genius.
4 or 5 years. I'm telling you, the business applications for these things are really great. Here's one. You could
Bro,
even they just have an image of a baby
imagine
crawling
an
in the house.
IKEA.
Well, exactly
Bro,
right.
imagine an
But
IKEA.
imagine if you could test your house for how safe it is for a baby. You could run a simulation when the baby crawls around, and you can see what are the potential. Right. Some of the stuff you could test. You could start to test for safety. You can run simulations. This type of thing is really impressive, and the use cases start to go crazy when you really get deep into it. But you know what's going to happen first? People want to play games, and then they're going to try and do weird sex things with these. That's what I'm telling you. That's what's going to happen first. Like, can you take the clothes off? Let's see, to close that out in case there's anything.
How come I can't fix my endowment?
Is it like
So I can
Cyberpunk where you can like
adjust
like,
the
really,
girth?
like the girth? If you're
What are
or
the
not,
sliders? Leg girth and oh, okay, there we go. Getting canceled. Says here, just to close out, during G-Star 23, Krafton's showcase of Inzoi was more than just a game announcement. It was a statement about the evolving landscape of life simulation games. Inzoi invites players to create and control their unique stories, emphasizing the limitless possibilities within its virtual world. We are on our way to Ready Player 1, 2, 3. All
I'm
that shit's
excited.
coming real, bro. A little bit scary. That's all we had this week for the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is back on. Chat, in case you missed that. That's just good news. We're excited about that. Just a small note there. But that's really all we had this week. You know what I mean? We can close them out. Boys, you got anything for the people?
Go ahead and take us out, Shad.
Guys, thank you for staying with us. Here's a little drum. And this has been the No Randoms podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, notification bell. You know what to do. Hit us up in the comments. We all love to see it. Other than that, it's been the No Randoms podcast. Do you guys have anything else to say?
We out.